Donish, what are you doing?
What do you mean?
Your neck. You're gonna get tech neck.
Tech neck? What's that?
Find out soon on the 50 Shades of Pain show, and we'll tell you how that can turn into a herniated disc.
Welcome to the 50 Shades of Pain show, where we empower our community with knowledge about pain, both physical and emotional, to give you the tools you need for optimal health. I'm Dr. Donish, Medical Director of Wellward here in Lexington, Kentucky, and I'm here with my co-host, Dr. James Escaloni. We are talking about tech neck. What we're seeing now as an epidemic of people looking down at their phones. I mean, I see people walking into walls and walking into each other all the time because everybody is looking down at their phone. And over time, that gives a lot of vulnerability for people developing neck problems, because if you're constantly in this kind of a position, you're going to be increasing the instructions for your body to lengthen the ligaments that run up and down your back, which is going to create less stability for your neck in different motions. I mean, imagine a bowling ball sitting on top of a slinky. That's essentially what our head is. Our head is what, like 15, 20 pounds of weight on top of this.
I've been called to have a big, thick, heavy head at some point, so yeah.
I'm not talking about what your kids say. I'm saying in general, people have essentially 10 or 15 pounds of weight on top of this neck. It's going to a lot of stress on the ligaments of your neck unless you're keeping good ergonomics and you're keeping good strength in the muscles of your neck.
I'm just imagining a bowling ball and how precarious that is. Then all of a sudden you start pushing that forward.
Right.
That's going to be hard for that bowling ball to stay put.
Yeah, and that's exactly right, is your muscles have to work overtime, so they're not able to have the speed of reaction that they would need in other situations in which, like, all of a sudden a big stress comes by and knocks you over to the side, like if you got hit by a football player. Or if you're driving your car and you hear a sudden sound over here, you want to turn your head quickly to the side. And if you don't have the appropriate level of tension and strength in your muscles of overcompensation for ligaments, it leaves you vulnerable to seeing stress in parts of your neck that are not built for that kind of a stress. The most important one being the disc and the ligament that surrounds the disc.
I'm following now. You've got somebody with a tech neck and been sitting like this for a long time. How does that cause a herniated disc in your neck?
Well, if you've got a chronic motion like this, your body is going to be adapted to this kind of emotion. The moment that it's presented with a stress outside of the spectrum of motions that it's used to, then that stress can all be felt at the level of the disc. Like, your ligaments are creating stability in the stacked tripod of your neck. Like, your neck is, if you think about your neck like a tripod, where one leg is the disc, the other two legs are the joints in the back of your neck. These are all stacked on top of each other and held in place with ligaments. And if they've been stretched out or damaged, then they're not able to hold the stability with different stresses coming by. And that's going to create a shear stress, which could injure the ring around the disc, the ligaments that surround the disc, and thereby an area of weakness in the disc where things can herniate out.
About this in my head, and I think that if I took my finger like this and just held it for a pretty long time, eventually this stuff would get injured. Kind of sounds like our neck if we kept it in this position for a long period of time. And it doesn't matter the surgery or injections I have right from here. If I don't do something about this finger being pulled down, there's going to be some bigger problems.
That's right. And a lot of times surgery does correct the injury that is causing the immediate pain, but there's a concept called adjacent level disease, where if you have surgery on one segment, a few years down the line, people see injuries at a segment above or below that area. And that's very common because all you're doing with the surgery is you're creating a fixed point in space in which everything else has to adapt. If you're not correcting those other things, then you're lending yourself increasing vulnerability to damaging other parts of your spine.
That makes perfect sense to me.
So, keys to take away is be mindful of ergonomics. If you're looking down at your phone, periodically bring it up instead of looking down like this, where it's easier to do, so that your phone is somewhat eye level with your face.
If you've got your computer that you're working on at home, it should be so that whatever you're typing on, let's say it's a document, should be lined up with your eyeballs. And if your monitor isn't high enough, find it old yellow pages if those are still around someplace. lift that up, so you should be good there.
And if you're used to using a laptop, don't use a laptop in your lap, because you're gonna end up having that tech neck, and over time it's gonna accumulate and cause other injuries.
Getting something like a detachable keyboard would be a great way.
And if you end up having an injury as a result of tech neck, then by all means, feel free to reach out to us. We can direct you towards the resources you need to actually repair that injury and prevent it from coming back.
So from all of us here at Wellward, I'm Dr. Maloney.
And I'm Dr. Don.
We'll see you next time.
Take care.